Roof's up. We're live. Hello, everybody. If you notice that my lines are thicker, I switched what VitoTube I'm using. So now my lines are more detailed. And look, when I talk, oh, my hair color still changes. Okay, that's still a thing. Oh, I need to stop the live stream or stop the premiere before Hell's Kitchen starts playing.
If you don't close the other tab and it auto goes to something else, and then the next thing you're hearing shit, and you're like, why?
Okay, we have
there's so much to talk about
of topics. I'm gonna write them down, and I'm gonna set timers because we can't rant on forever. So, Solace, what would you like to bring up first?
Well, let me just talk about my personal life really quick and just go with that. But first and foremost, we got to do the read off. Hey, everybody, this is the Bark Bark Meows After Bark live stream. Of course, you are here, you are queer, and get used to it or you're an ally, because you wouldn't be here if you weren't. But yes, hello. I'm dying. So, Ollie's drugged up right now. We'll go with that first. Ollie's drugged up. And it's because I gave him his prescription meds that I got on Thursday. He went to the vet. He is 49 pounds and healthy. But I wanted to get him anxiety meds. I am waiting to get a prescription to go pick up from Walmart that will be a daily anxiety med that I can give him.
So I'm saying, can I have some of that, dude? Share?
I don't think it works. Well, I mean, you're a dog, but like you're a big dog.
I am a dog.
He's like a little dog, so I don't know if it would work. In comparison to him, he's only 49 pounds.
I'm just a little husky. Get it? See what I did there? Husky.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm a husky sheep.
I keep forgetting that. I keep thinking you're a bitch.
Whoa. People keep calling me a corgi, which is highly offensive.
Is there a supremacy there?
No, they're calling me small.
It's okay. I'm completely speciesist against all other canines.
Whoa. Wait.
They're like, oh, who's a good boy? I'm like, I'm not a fucking dog. But yes.
but yes. Who's a good boy? Listen, you are throwing me into a stereotype. But it's me. I'm a good boy.
Shit. All right, let's do the read off really quick now that more people are getting in here, and I made a blue sky post. That's what I was really doing. Quit the fishing wolf. Hello, welcome on in. Hey, Prophet Soya. We've got Cicero the Fourth. We got Okian Munja. We have Carnelian Fox. We have Gamagan. Oh, whoa. We have Quaddle. Plushy Speaks. Alistair the Hyena. Audible Player. Power Pasta. Hello, everybody. Nicaps Panther. We got Raise Bays. Hello. Londonine. And I don't know what's happening, but okay. Hi everybody. This is the After Bark. We're gonna talk about a bunch of shit. Starting off with, so yes, Ollie's drugged up. He got a prescription. The deal is, sorry.
Oh, I just have a quick question for Okeen. I know what NB means. What does NV is? Did you misspell NB? Oh, it is NB. Okay. I was like, I know NB. I don't know what NV is. Is that a different? It is Pride Month. I'm here to learn, but like, okay, it was just a typo. All right, go on, Solace.
Yeah. So when I took him to the vet, I wanted to get him those anxiety meds. I want him on a daily just to see if that helps with me, because I'm hoping to use the dailies. It takes a couple weeks for it to really start taking effect, I guess. And the goal would be to help. I need to be able to start building positive reinforcement with him, me being gone, right?
Yes.
So I'm hoping with a daily for short periods, and for longer periods where I got to be gone, errand running, shopping, stuff like that, I can give him the trazodone, which he's on right now.
How's he doing?
Hopefully that can get him through the longer periods of times, and he can eventually, over this next year or so, just really start to get used to me not always being here. And also get him to the point where he's fine with me kenneling him at night without having direct line of sight. I am back to open doors because he just was not having it all week, and I needed sleep. So the last 3 nights I've had open doors, and he doesn't fuss a bit. So it's he has to be able to see me. You know, the second it breaks line of sight, he just hates it. So
Got it. We need music. Boop.
yeah, so I am working on that with him, and these meds will hopefully get him to a better place within the next year or so. But it's like, so the funny thing is the trazodone for a 2 week, well, it's one every 12 hours. So if you have to keep him medicated for a full day, it'd be 2 tablets. Which means I was given a week's worth. But if I'm only doing it like once a day to get him through the rough patches of the day, then it would be 2 weeks worth for $10. That's fine. That's not that bad. It's only, again, supposed to be used for those longer periods anyways. The daily for a 30-day supply, for capsules, I think it was capsules were $9 at Walmart. For 30-day tablet, it would be $85. Same dosage, same medicine. Yeah, I'm gonna get the capsules.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, I plan on doing a test run of him on the trazodone and me leaving for a couple hours this weekend.
Okay.
I'm gonna go do some shopping, maybe go get a haircut and shit because I need my haircut. But I thought about it today being Friday, and I don't know if I'm going tomorrow or the next day. I didn't want to give him a medication he's never been on before, from my knowledge, and then just leave the house and hope nothing bad happens.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and right before dinner, fed him or gave him one of the pills, and then let him eat dinner, because it also says to help prevent any sort of upset stomachs, which can be a side effect. I'll have him eat like either just before, during, or after.
Okay.
So he got to, and he ate because he was hungry. It was dinner time for him. And so we're gonna spend the whole night just keeping an eye on him to make sure nothing like crazy happens. And as of right now, he's looking a little lethargic. I think he's not as coordinated as they said, which is one of the things it can be.
That's fair, yeah.
So yeah, he's doing good right now. He's on the couch, just kind of like, right now he's just itching his ear.
Yeah, cool. I was gonna say, like, do you have a way to like set up your webcam so that you could see him while you're gone this weekend and like check on your phone or something? Or
not easily, not unless I go out and buy. I would really need to go buy honestly like a laptop or something, which is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. Might still do anyways before Anthrocon, because I was gonna keep most of like the Bark Bark Meow shit on it anyways. So I can be a little bit more active, and you've never shown me how to do the uploads on Saturdays yet, because that's your fault.
Fuck, I do gotta do that, yeah.
You teach me shit, but I was gonna do that. So we'll see how much money I have going into Anthrocon and stuff. But no, this weekend I'm not gonna just go out and buy anything. He's gonna be fine. The big thing was, I mean, it's not like we haven't done it before without medication, so I'm not worried about that as much as long as he clears tonight and nothing like bad happens, we're good. So, and right now he just looks, you can just kind of tell, I feel like he's just a little out of it, which is exactly what this thing's supposed to do.
Yeah.
A little bit of sedation.
Okay. Well, hell yeah.
Good.
Good.
On the same note, I was playing Deltarune, which is Deltarune chapters 3 and 4 dropped this week. I was super excited to start. Forgot that this PC doesn't have the old save file that I have, so I have to start from the beginning, which honestly I needed a fucking refresher anyway, so it's fine. I was gonna play last night, was gonna stream. Yeah.
Quick interjection. Nobody needs to leave. We're not going into spoilers. So you can chill, we can vibe. Yeah, we're not gonna spoil anything.
Spoilers. I have not seen any spoilers, and I'm not even in the chapter 3 yet.
Yeah.
But I was gonna start. I'm gonna be playing more tonight, for sure. This is also another thing. Is not. Oh, he's out. He's sleeping now.
No.
That's good. No. He's always bored. So you know what? If I'm gonna stream a whole bunch tonight, I guess he can be bored sleeping.
There you go.
And medicated. Yeah, I'm gonna play a bunch of Deltarune tonight and tomorrow, and then hopefully finish up chapter 4 by Sunday. Worst case Monday. But that's kind of like I'm basically gonna speedrun Deltarune, so I can. It's kind of like Outer Wilds, where you have to finish it quickly so you don't miss any or you don't catch any spoilers, and you can then talk about it too.
Right.
So that's like my goal. Is I'm just gonna do a lot of Deltarune streaming this weekend. But I was gonna stream last night. I ate shit trying to walk Ollie last night. Oh boy.
Don't do that.
My
That's
right
bad
ankle
for you.
is still fucked up.
Oh no.
I walked up to the end of the block. This is just a full block walking, and I was gonna take him on the longer route. I tried to take him on the nights to give him a little bit more exercise and a little longer walk.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went to step off the curb to go to the street because I have to cross a road, as soon as my foot hit the ground, I just went sideways and fucking ate it.
Oh god.
And then I'm just laying in the road, and it was bad. It hurt so fucking much. I know I did it real good.
Oh.
Honestly, at the moment, thought I broke it. I was like, holy shit. And so like, I'm like, oh god, I kind of gotta get out of the road. So like, in my whole right leg is just like, oh my god. Dragged myself off the road to the curb, and then I tried to like immediately like, all right, let's start poking stuff and seeing if it's immense pain or if it's just like okay. Because if you break something down in your ankle and stuff, typically, if you even put any light pressure, it's gonna fucking yeah, it's just gonna let you know. And so it didn't immediately like send like the you broke it pain. It was still very painful.
Yeah.
So I was like, sheesh. So, I then my dog's like, dude, what's up? What the fuck? And I'm like,
the hell's
"Alright,
your problem?
I'm sorry, dude. I gotta fucking have to get you back home somehow."
Yeah.
So then I get up on my one leg and I try to put weight on my leg, my right leg, and don't feel an immediate like shooting pain through my body. It still hurts, obviously. And you can tell like when you do these kinds of injuries, you can tell when it's fucked up because you know you can't like flex your foot. So the only way you can walk is if you basically treat your leg like a peg leg. If you put all your weight like on the straight ball of your foot, like I guess it's like a straight up and down pressure instead of putting any pressure anywhere else on your foot, it seems to not be as bad. And so I very gingerly hobbled my ass the fucking block back.
Oh, Jesus.
I was like, God, this is great. Oh, shit. And then that's why I was like, I wanted to stream last night, but the best thing for this is they call it RICE. It's rest, ice, compression, and elevation. And so with my computer set up and everything, there's no way I can elevate my foot and get set up to where I could be comfortable and game. Plus, it was still throbbing in pain, and I didn't want to sit here being like, "Ow, that hurts,"
Oof,
you know.
Ow, my foot the whole time, yeah.
Like it's still not great, but it's not in constant aching pain. So, luckily enough, that means I don't think it really broke anything. It's just pretty good sprain.
Yeah, you probably just rolled it really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Which is still not fun. Don't get me wrong, but.
Oh, my thought was like, oh, I'm trying to go jogging. I'm trying to lose a little bit more weight before Anthrocon, and I'm trying to get more walking in because you always know you're like not prepared for Anthrocon or any con because when you show up, you're like, man, I really wish I would have built some goddamn stamina.
Yeah, so that I could join the fursuit parade. Oh wait, if we want to make that segue, or do you have more you want to talk about? You can still talk.
It's just I was just saying, I spent all night laying with Ollie with my foot on a pillow with an ice pack. That it's the ice stuff. It's the it's not like an ice pack. It's got like the gel in it where it doesn't quite all the way freeze.
Yeah,
I had that. I did that for my ribs when I coughed my rib, I thought I broke it. Remember?
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
So I just used that on my ankle last night, and it was awesome. It felt really good. Thanks
yeah.
for all the speedy recovery and everything. So it is already like way better today. Thank fucking God. It is not a very good picture. I could show Misha if you want to see my dog that looks a little rough, but
I don't actually.
Most people, every time I said that, people are like, no, I don't want to see that. Just a little bruised and red marking.
Little boo boo.
But yeah, Anthrocon. You're gonna make a video on that.
I am. The video comes out tomorrow.
Oh goddamn, you got that done quick.
I did get. I sped run this. Yeah. So, Anthrocon is happening in, I think, almost exactly a month. I think it starts
Well,
on the 3rd or
just
the
a little
4th,
less.
right? Yeah.
The
So
second. Well, I will get there on the 2nd. That's Wednesday.
Yeah, that.
But it officially, like, pre-reg and all that stuff will start Thursday night.
So this con, under a month away, updates its rules and policies for the Fursuit Parade, which, if you don't know, the Fursuit Parade is one of the, like, bigger events of Anthrocon. Everybody comes around and gathers to watch the fursuiters walk around their little route. It goes outside of the convention hall, and so people from the community will come in and watch it as well. And then it leads into a block party for the rest of the evening. So this event has unfortunately gotten way too big. It's gotten to the point where, like, I did it last year. I'm glad I did it. It fucking sucked, but, like, where the wait time was over 2 hours just to walk the little 10-minute route. And the parade itself was over 3 hours, I think we're at that point. In the middle of the day in the Pittsburgh heat and humidity. So they mentioned in October, they were like, hey, we got to make some restrictions, we got to make some changes, and those will come out later. Well, really a lot later, they finally released the updated rules, and basically it's saying that you have to register for it beforehand, which I don't feel like is a bad change. You have to go show them what you're gonna wear and what your suit looks like. You can't just wear a general cosplay. It has to be an actual fursuit, which again makes sense for a fursuit parade. The biggest issue people are having is the requirements of your fursuit. It has to be at least a partial. Tail, feet, paws are optional, and I think hand. I don't remember, but full suits are preferred, and you cannot show skin. They said showing, you're not supposed to show skin, which we in the community call poodling. So that's the part that myself and many others are having issues with, is the fact that they basically said no poodling during the fursuit parade in Pittsburgh, in the hot summer sun and humidity. This
people were getting
cause
dehydrated
problems.
and fucking dying in the goddamn Reg line on Thursday last year because it wrapped outside, like 2 blocks outside.
Yeah.
And you're gonna make people wait. Like, again, people also die waiting for the parade because of this, because they can't they can't not show skin, or they can't show skin or whatever. So
yeah,
dude, I don't know. I to me, this comes back to it's actually very directly relatable to, like, our current political things that are happening, right? Where they're taking away something, not adding.
Yeah.
And that's what I always point to. That's wrong. And it's all under the guise of, like, oh, we're just cutting down numbers. And it'll make a difference. It will cut down numbers, but also, like, I'm going through right now 5 seconds at a time to try and see if I was poodling in 2019, because I think it's the only time I ever did Anthrocon's parade.
I was technically poodling because of my hand paws. I had a sweater.
Oh, you had your fingers.
Yeah, I wear the fingerless gloves because sometimes I play instruments in suit, and I just haven't ever bought actual hand paws. So it's one of those where it's like, that's technically poodling, but would they allow that? Because it's not that much poodling. How is the fursuit marching band going to play their instruments without showing fingers? Like, I'm sure they'll make exceptions for that. The other big rule change that I have a problem with, not to move on too quick from the poodling, we will be getting back to it, is you can, like, handlers are not, you're not supposed to have a handler unless you have mobility issues or are under the age of 13.
I didn't even see that. I didn't even read it that much.
You cannot. You can't have a handler.
What a fucking nightmare.
Obviously having handlers for people with mobility issues and under the age of 13, that's good. I just think, like, they should broaden that a little more, because there are suits where it's like you need a handler in order to walk. Yeah. And the next rule is, like, if you have a suit that requires having a handler, we highly suggest you don't do the fursuit parade and you hang around the block party instead.
Yeah, I know. They're just being fucking, dude. It's just not how you run things. It's just you're disqualifying people who should have a chance. It's so dumb. Especially because you gotta think, not everybody goes to the same fucking Anthrocon every year, right? No. So if this is that one year that they're planning on going to and they were so ready to go to and do this thing, and now they're fucked. Yeah. Because like I never planned on doing the fursuit parade at Anthrocon, and I just kind of winged it. And guess what? I'm pretty sure I was allowed the poodle here.
Oh, absolutely. This is the first time I'm hearing of this, where they're just like, no poodling. Obviously they didn't say it exactly like that. But what was I just about to say? Yeah, there are people that like, it's too late to cancel your travel plans.
Oh, like, yeah, no, it's a month
it's
out.
Too late.
You're almost not getting refunded. You're also,
yeah,
you're not going to refund it. Again, why do you go to cons, right? You go for the people and you go for the events. The Fursuit Parade is absolutely one of the major events, and you have now absolutely fucked over people who have paid a good amount of money to do this thing.
Yes.
Or you're forcing them to honestly, to me, it's to suffer through something that they shouldn't have to. Yeah. If they had, I'll be real with you, if they had a route where they could do the Fursuit Parade all indoors, conference the hotel or something, fucking great. Awesome. You can make that comment then, because you know at that rate
Skybridge?
that you're in air conditioning.
Yes.
But I am a hot, sweaty guy. I've always have been. And I honestly do not like full suiting. And the only way I could theoretically circumvent this is to wear like Under Armour and shit. But I shouldn't have to. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And then it all comes down to, why is it only the no-show skin policy? Why are you picking on poodlers? Like,
right?
Why are you calling it that way? Because the only way that leads into it is, well, because it's called the Fursuit Parade. Go fuck yourselves.
Yeah,
Jesus
Christ. I think that argument of it should be a Fursuit Parade works when it's like, you can't, the parade's too big. We can't just have like people cosplaying without there being some kind of furry element to it. And I think like the requirement should at least be a fursuit head for the Fursuit Parade.
Why are we getting
rid of
all saying they're handlers and they bring 3 handlers, but it's just their friends out of suit, you know?
Yeah.
You can crack down on that, which they already did. It was like only 1 handler per suitor was like a rule for a while.
Yeah. I said in my video, I was like, they should heavily suggest that if you are okay without a handler, don't bring one. But like if you need one and you don't fit in the box of mobility issues or 80, like under the age of 13, it sounds like they're not going to let you have one. And there was, you want to hear the other crazy rule?
What's that?
No flags are allowed, as they obstruct other fursuiters in the parade. A parade without flags. So no pride flags.
I think
can't have.
I'm starting to think Anthrocon's kind of homophobic, huh?
Yeah, right. What the fuck? Like, obviously, I don't actually think that, but like,
I'm gonna say this. This can be controversial. I don't care if people take this out of or take this and let people know. I'm gonna say this right the fuck now. Anthrocon's base people, which they're slowly starting to fade out because they've all been doing this for a long time now. A lot of the base people do kind of fall into those boxes of being much more old school thinking.
Yep.
So when I make the joke that, oh, it's, you know, they're not actually attacking poodling because it's not specifically stated as attacking poodling, they kind of actually are, though, because a lot of those people that are high up on the board are still very, we shouldn't break the magic kind of people.
Oh, God, yeah.
It's fucking stupid. It's ridiculous. But guess what? I guarantee that was I guarantee in the back rooms, they'll never say it. I guarantee it was in the background. They were like, you know what? We wanted this to be the Fursuit Parade anyways, not the we're humans in suits parade.
Yeah. It's like, my theory, and I talked about it in the video, and I want to again clarify this as a theory, is that like Uncle Kage is really focused on the image of furry and, you know, by extension, his con. And people outside of the community come to watch the Fursuit Parade. And outside of the community, breaking the magic and all of that jazz is a little less accepted. However, we're not getting paid to not break the magic. We're not Disney characters. We are at a furry convention for the furries. We are there to celebrate us. I don't give a fuck what people outside of the community think. I think it's great that they come out and watch the parade. I think they should come out and watch the parade how we want to present it, not how they think it should be.
Exactly. I made that point. I've been trying to make that point is we paid to be there. Yeah. And that means we should have access to this event. Now, rather, if it just fills up and you're not able to attend it, that is what it is. But I should not be disqualified because I want to be comfortable. Yeah. And we are not paid actors. So if you want to try and say it's the fursuit parade, we only want fursuiters because it's good for our marketing. Fuck you. We're not paid. We're actually paying to be there. So if you want to pay all the fursuiters to be in that parade for your little promo and marketing, then you can start making more arguments like that. All right. But other than that, nah, this is bullshit, and I don't like it. And I think out of all of the options that are available to help cut down on parade numbers, this was the worst or one of the worst options they could have went with.
Yes, I think they could have made the limitations of we need to require fursuits like the head, without getting rid of poodling in its entirety. And, God, I had something I just wanted to say, and it's gone. I get it being a numbers issue with growing cons, but it's still up. Yeah, it's, because they could have put a cap on it, and that could have been the whole solution, is put a cap, you have to at least wear a fursuit head. Boom. Once you have that cap, all of the other cuts really don't matter. Because once you have a numbers cap, if you reach that number, you're good to go. You know? And just the no flags thing is crazy because there are people that travel to FurCons and this is the only place they're allowed to express themselves openly. And some people want to do that during the fursuit parade. Like, you know, queer trans people being able to wave the flag that belongs to them, the flag that represents them. They want to show it off to the world, and this is the one safe place they can do it, and now they're not allowed to. And that's just crazy to me.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to wonder here. Did I... Or... Sorry, my brain is... I'm trying to think. It's like...
You're good.
When it comes to the whole flags things, like... If you can point to a specific instance where the flags were detrimental, as in, i.e., tripping up suitors or something that was a security or injury problem, I could think about it.
Yeah.
But at this current point in time, I just see it as you guys maybe you are afraid you don't want all the pride flags to be in the parade because again, it's this whole like. We're presenting to an outside community, so you're trying not to get like stuff, I don't know, like get people mad at it, dude.
Yeah, that's
again, I need better reasons. And if not, then I think for a con where a lot of them like you have a year to plan this shit, and you're dropping this a month prior. Nah, again, we don't get to see the conversations. Were there conversations? Did you actually try to work on this? Or did one person, a couple people were like, you know what, we're just going to do this and it's going to fuck everybody over. But, I get that a lot of the ways and a lot of the avenues to help reduce the numbers at the parades are going to upset some sort of group of people or individuals, okay? I don't think there's a perfect way to do it. Because even if you put a cap on it, people are still going to be like, well, I just really wanted to know this year. Like, it's going to happen. Yeah. But it doesn't mean... I just feel like this is one of the worst ways, and I don't have a good reasoning for it other than it kind of comes down to internalizing of not breaking the magic, trying to present to the public versus... The fursuit parades aren't for the public. The fursuit parades are for your attendees. This is something that's done at so many cons, and they don't have the big public displays that Anthrocon does have. I appreciate that it involves the public of Anthrocon and gets normies involved. That is one of the unique features of Anthrocon, but that's not the reason why we're there. We're not there to show off the people, okay?
Exactly. Yeah.
And we're not your paid actors.
No.
So
Quaddle said, "Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I thought."
No, you're good.
Quaddle said exactly what I was thinking, is I could buy no flags as a safety thing, but the proper answer is a size limit, not a blanket ban. I completely understand if it's like, you can't have a giant big as fuck flag waving it around, running across to and from, because that could get in the way and that could obstruct suitors with already limited vision. But just to ban flags altogether, and then Kneecaps Panther brings up the guy that brought the Confederate flag, just ban those flags. You don't have to play the fence. You don't have to play both sides. You can say no hateful flags, you know?
Yeah.
It's a private event.
And if somebody tries to make an argument that, oh, no hateful flags, and you go, and somebody says, well, I think the gay pride flag is hateful, you can just be like, no.
You're in the wrong space for that, yeah.
Bullshit.
We disagree, and we have the right to, you know, we have the right to ban the flag that you brought.
I think there are a number of avenues that they could have taken to be better. I personally, and I have a great pitch, I don't know what it takes to get these parades ran, but you're already doing one, right? Which means you know how to set up a second one.
Yeah.
Set up a second one. The reason why I say this is you can set up a second one, and there's two ways you can go about this. Reg has already gone up, right? It's already gone up. It's a thing. So you could arguably, I guarantee you could get $5 more out of everybody else and host a second parade. Assuming Anthrocon is always this year and the next couple of years, will always be pushing that 20K limit. It's an extra $100,000 just from $5 per reg.
Yeah.
You're not going to tell me, I guarantee, even working with local law enforcement, it is not $100,000 for you to run a parade, the first parade.
Yeah, God no.
So I guarantee, with contract talks with the police and the security and everything, with that extra $5, you could get a second parade. You know what you could do? That means Anthrocon can be like, look, we're so big, we host 2 fursuit parades. So if you miss the first one, you can go to the second one, or you can watch the second one.
Yeah.
And Mex reached out to me today and was talking about some things, and we are on very different sides of the opinion on this, which is totally fine. I think these conversations do better when you have 2 different sides. And my big thing really was, he did mention that nobody wants to host a panel during a parade because people want to go to the parade or be in the parade, you know?
Yeah.
Well, if there's 2, then you get to pick.
That's
and I
true.
think realistically, it just breeds more opportunity. A, you have more chances to see one of the parades. B, you have a better chance of getting in a parade in general. And C, you just got to pick the times. But there's always going to be conflicts of scheduling when it comes to cons. There's no perfect answer for that. So my thing is, do 2. Do fucking 2 and be the con that does 2. I think that'd be crazy easy to market.
Yeah, there are some issues with that. Lore brings up a big one, is you would have to, it's a city permit issue. They do close down the road, which I imagine isn't super cheap to do. And then
that was that whole talk about you can do it. You've got 1 permit already.
Yeah.
You all know how to get the second permit. Talk to the city and be like, look, can we do a second one? And it can even be in a reduced fashion where it's not as long and not as high capacity, but it would still allow for better and more allowing of this stuff.
Yeah, I do think you would have to do like a bigger parade and then the smaller parade, because you're also dividing up who people attending which parade. Yeah, I don't know. It's a whole logistical thing.
You say that, but then this rule already does that, because if you were gonna go with your friends but you're a poodler, you're fucked.
Yeah, I'm not.
So this is already it's at most the same problem with this, but more opportunity in my mind.
I'm not attending it this year. I'm not hit it.
I didn't go last year. You went last year. I didn't go last year because I was like, it's a fucking nightmare to ever do that parade because there's so many fucking people and it is so fucking long.
I'm glad I did it. However, I'm not gonna do it again.
And I actually think that's one of the things I think they already mismanage the parade themselves. I think they need to do more work on their processes with the management of that con.
Yeah.
You could also build up there's like a whole thing where it could be first come first serve. When you do registration, you could have parade 1, parade 2, and when you get your registration, just like a lot of times, you get a QR code. That QR code allows you to get into the parade 1 or parade 2. You have to have your phone with you to get that scanned in. You get it scanned in, boom, you're in. Done. Easy. Like and these processes are already basically already being used at Anthrocon. You just have to pay somebody to dev up. Guess what? Part of that $100,000 you just got off those $5 reg helps pay for that development. And also, I guarantee there are bigger fucking events out there, like Dragon Con, Comic Cons and stuff, that do events like a parade or something like that. That is way more than we ever have in attendees at the fursuit parades. So again, this comes back to me talking about FWA, Anthrocon. Start talking to these bigger events and see how they do their shit. How do they manage it? How do they make it work? Use inspiration. Use the ones beforehand.
Does FWA have a fursuit parade?
No, but FWA's issue was
oh, you're saying FWA talk to the bigger non-freak. Got it. Okay.
They have other issues where that they're struggling with when it comes to attendance numbers, which is a joke considering Dragon Con is in the same hotels and area when it is also 2 to 3 times larger than FWA. Yeah. So there's people that are doing it successfully. Learn from their success. You know.
We do got to move on to our other topic. I do want to end on one of the funniest things I found when I was researching for the video, because I looked up the rules and stuff. I call it research. I pulled up one web page, but in the promo picture on the page telling you that you're not allowed to poodle at the con, is somebody poodling at, or you're not allowed to poodle in the parade. You're allowed to poodle at the con. They're not banning poodling altogether, but in the promo picture of them saying you're not allowed to poodle at the parade, is somebody in the background poodling in the parade. So like, you guys might want to change that photo if you're going to sit there and tell people they can't do that, you know? I just found it really funny.
Your con is built off of poodlers, and now you're going to ostracize them.
Yeah.
Because the heavy majority of suitors don't have full suits. And then if you're asking them to cover up, to me, it's just pointless.
Yeah.
Just have a cap list at that point. Don't fucking discriminate. Just cap a limit and call it.
Yeah, have a cap limit. Yeah, exactly. That literally solves the problem.
Don't discriminate and cause the problems. Yep.
But yeah.
Jesus Christ. But no, don't break the magic, because our con.
It's like
I'm looking at this. I'm seeing this. I'm watching this 2019 one, and this was my biggest thing. Is there's so many kids that are all poodling, and I think that
they're not allowed to anymore.
Most likely their first fucking con. That this is probably a massively magical moment for them that they'll never forget. And they're now not allowed to have that magical moment because they need to make sure they're completely kitted up, and their parents may not even know because it's a month in advance and aren't going to go back and read that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm fucking struggling to understand Anthrocon's thought process here.
But
on top of the fact, I was also, I'll let you finish, but the thing that confused me, because I initially got pissed off because I thought they were somehow enforcing the same rules in the block party, because it's linked together in the same goddamn page.
Yeah,
you know what
the
I
block
mean?
Party completely different rules.
It's like when you put somebody on a Google Doc, even though if they're not associated with the certain problem,
I can't.
Just by them being listed on it, they get fucking called for it. You know what I mean?
I can't.
Same thing.
Wait to go to that panel, dude.
I had to go down to the fucking FAQ to read, and it's like, oh yeah, you don't have to have a suit to go to the block party, and that made me think, oh okay, so these rules don't. But it says block party and parade, and then immediately lists rules. Now, yes, it says parade rules, but to me, I got confused for a moment. I thought these were for both. I was like, how dare you try to stop the block party?
Oh yeah, no.
That'd have been overreach. But yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
now you had something to finish off?
No, you're okay. I was gonna say, because you said I don't know. I was gonna say, yeah, I don't know either. But what I do know is this is the first time I can think of where I'm sad I'm not on Twitter. Because good God, the girlies are fighting.
Dude,
Holy
I will
fucking
say that.
bingle. The fallout is happening. The fallout that everyone saw coming. The sky blue, water wet. We all knew this was We all knew this was coming.
Holy shit.
Elon Musk and Donald Trump have broken up. It is our first messy breakup of Pride Month, and we are
It's the first breakup of Pride Month.
We are munching that popcorn at light speed, dude. It's been a show. I don't know if there's been any updates today, but like basically, you know, Musk is no longer in the White House, and at first he was like, well, I disagree with what's in the bill, because he's disagreeing because they're trying to get rid of the EV tax, which is
it's the only way that his fucking company is profitable.
Exactly. It's a good bulk of the money that Tesla gets. And so, you know, at first it was just like, oh, I disagree with this stuff. And then Trump was like, oh, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. People leave the office and they are suddenly very critical of me, and it's like, I fucking wonder why. And then he accused Musk of having Trump derangement syndrome, and that opened the floodgates. Yeah, so Musk went on like a temper tantrum, because, you know, the whole baby fur thing. He went on a temper tantrum about like, oh, look at all the stuff you used to say. Like, basically his whole pitch was like, he's not the Trump that he used to support. And the fucking, he cited tweets from Trump in like 2011, 2014, all that jazz. And it was like, God, yes, Carnelian, I have seen that. It sucks. But because like Trump was like, how are Republicans raising the debt ceiling? I'm a Republican and even I can't support that. And it's like, well, here he is over a decade later doing the same thing. And then it continues on where Trump fires back and is like, well, Elon is a doo-doo head and we're gonna get rid of his like his government subsidies or something.
Save billions on this shit.
Yeah.
And all of his contracts too.
Yeah. And that caused Musk to fire back with an absolutely like a fucking nuclear bomb of saying like, Donald Trump is in the Epstein file. This is quoting Elon. I'm not nobody sue me. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is why they haven't been released. Enjoy your day, DJT. And it was just like, one, this isn't news, we knew that. But two, the fact that he wrote it down and like posted that, and it's like, well, fuck. This has been an adventure. And as far as I know, the only update from today is Trump's administration team tried to get him to be on the phone with Elon so that they could patch things up, and Trump is refusing.
That's funny that Trump's refusing, because Trump is the one that needs to not piss Elon off, especially because they are never going to release the Epstein files. But if Elon continues to feel slighted and divorced again like he is, he's gonna keep popping off, which is only going to piss Trump off more, which will eventually get Trump to say more shit. Yeah. So maybe Elon will drop even more tea. This is the only time. I will never support Elon, but we need him to really drop the bombs of the dirty shit that Trump has been doing.
I will never support that man, but holy fuck am I hearing about right now. I forgot to mention one of the things in there was oh god, what was I gonna say? No, I just had it. It was Trump was like, we would have won Pittsburgh without Elon, and Elon replies saying, we only won Pittsburgh because of me. The Dems would be in the White House and would have a majority. And it's like, he's so fucking close to admitting it. He's so fucking close to admitting it. We just need them to fight a little longer.
Kind of speaking of that, there is a county somewhere. I don't want to speak too much of this because it starts feeling like, I feel like Republicans saying the election was stolen. But supposedly there's a county doing a full recount because they believe that both the presidential election and the Senate election had some shenanigans. So we are waiting to see if that actually comes up with something, because that could be direct proof of election tampering or election fraud, which would then open the floodgates to a bunch of things. But also, yes, it would be so cool if Elon just was like, I did use my star systems to fudge the fucking numbers. Because then that opens up the gate to so much.
Yeah. I'm just like...
I don't know if he'll ever do that, because I'm wondering what kind of felonies that implies or implicates at that point. But the other big thing is, even if he doesn't go that far, so there's a really funny thing that could happen, which would allow him to pop out and maybe go that far. So it'd be really funny if Trump did deport his ass.
Apparently somebody on Trump's team was like, we should look into Elon's legality of being here.
Mm-hmm. Some people have already, I think it was Steve Bannon, and some people have already started mentioning that Elon is an immigrant again. Obviously, when he was funding all of them and giving them all money, they didn't say shit.
Yeah,
but now that he's on the other side, he's an enemy now. He's, they're immediately slapping him with, you're not even an American.
Yeah. Well, that's like one of the things that people bring up is like, oh, Elon's on our side now, or like, oh, we love Elon now. No, the fuck we don't, because if it is true that Trump's name is in the Epstein files, which honestly it probably is,
they are.
Elon knew that this whole time and still continued to fund somebody who he is claiming is like associated with Epstein.
File.
Yeah, like you sat there and funded that person knowing damn well that he was in those files, and now just because you're mad at him, you're revealing this now. Like, that's it. Don't get me wrong. The tea is delicious, but that's gross, like
in all worlds, they're shitty people, no matter what. The thing is we want them to tear each other apart and burn it to the ground so that we can take back what's ours.
Exactly.
And the big thing here is just to see how far it goes, because if there was provable election fraud and it's given out there, so the cool thing here is if something goes scorched earth like that for Elon will he's a fucking bajillionaire and can and will go exist somewhere else in another country and do his own thing.
Yes,
he has ways out. Trump and MAGA do not, if that is what happens, and that becomes a really powerful thing. There is this differential thing happening too, though, where it's MAGA Republicans versus tech Republicans. So JD Vance is actually more on Elon's side. And here's the thing, because JD Vance is a turncoat. He's a two-faced piece of shit. He will go anywhere it takes to get him elected. He actually used to support trans people and had a trans friend in college, and he turned coat because he knew he could grift with MAGA and get a position. So that's what he did. And that's what you're seeing with a lot of Republicans now. A lot of Republicans saw how much money Elon is willing to give to get people into places, or to at least fund their campaigns, even if they don't win. So they're looking at it this way. Trump does not have that money. Trump is poor as fuck, actually. He's just... Yeah. They're all favors and stuff, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And it's not liquidity, it's all within assets, so he's never gonna sell that shit off anyways. Elon's not, though. And Elon will bankroll them for favors, which they all do already anyways.
Right.
So you're seeing a big divide here, which is actually kind of dangerous, because Elon is correct. Donald Trump will only be around for the next 3.5 years. Elon will be around for a lot longer. So a lot of them are starting to side with Musk because they know if they can get to his, or let him get into their pockets, they've basically got their campaigns funded for the next elections in 2 years or so. And B, that's probably where the Republican Party is going to go towards, because that one man can fund like all of the fucking races, all the campaigns. So why would you want to stick with MAGA at that point? So now you're seeing this massive divide in the Republican Party over this.
Yeah, it's the divide that, once again, we all saw coming. Like,
my biggest scare is if Musk somehow does levy it into taking over the majority of the Republican Party and getting himself back into a new position of power that's even more dangerous.
I did think about that while I was eating food today. I was like, what if he runs for office in 2028?
not sure if he can. I forget how that works with immigration statuses and stuff.
God, who fucking... We have a felon in the office right now, man. Who fucking knows how
Yeah.
it works anymore?
The problem is a lot of centrists somehow think Musk is cool, so that's also a negative.
Yeah, bit of an issue. Yeah.
But the biggest thing is to hope for the biggest fallout just divides the country, the MAGA, the Republican country, and we just sit back and keep eating our popcorn.
Hell yeah, we do. He can't be president,
like
but he could be
popcorn.
other things. I don't even know anymore, dude. What? He is... Man, at this point, anything could happen. I don't even know.
By the way, Laura Fox did say I apologize, and it's like, don't apologize. Like, you can't help it.
Laura's my friend. Apologize. This is your fault.
Laura's
Laura's a
didn't
friend
tell
of
me
mine.
you had another half and half friend.
I think that's just 2 Sonas.
Oh, is it two Sonas? I
think
don't
so.
know. Their profile looks like it's half
Oh,
and
it is half and half. Oh my god, wait, you're right.
You should know half and halves are
I'm
like family.
sorry. I'm sorry.
not be-
I don't know if I ever saw Laura in their suit at AC last year. I think
You-
Laura doesn't. They don't. They mentioned.
Coming.
They mentioned. Oh, is it okay? Because they mentioned They mentioned partialing, this year.
Oh.
So okay, that makes sense. Isn't Laura our roommate?
Yes.
Yeah, Laura's our roommate for AC.
Yeah.
I'll meet
Yeah.
them.
I'm gonna
Assumably meet them.
beat them up for giving us JD
I'm
Vans.
gonna actually beat them.
Easy.
But it's crazy to see all this going down, and it's just like such a "I told you so" moment, and
Oh,
there's
yeah.
nothing we can do about it though.
Yeah. Like, well, who could have seen this coming? Fucking everybody?
Everybody that literally said it the second that Musk started donating, the second he started putting support towards Trump, everybody was like, haha, this is not going to go well for those
Oh,
two.
yeah. People looked at that and they were like, these are 2 of the people with the, like, biggest and most fragile egos in the
Yeah.
entire world. This
Have
is
you-
not going to go well.
Have you seen the how the MAGA idiots are trying to explain it away? This is how 2 men really talk.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus Christ, no, this is called war because Musk doesn't do divorce well. And it's the truth. Again, we talked about this. Musk hasn't found his home because every time he gets into a group, he ostracizes himself and gets himself yeeted from said group. He was I wouldn't say he's a perfectly fine person prior to Grimes dumping his ass, but he wasn't a fucking terror at that point. He gets divorced and then he fell into the manosphere, which made him go alt-right.
God, yeah.
And then he thought alt-right. And alt-right obviously immediately picked him up because they'll pick up anybody who... I mean, I can grift the shit out of the alt-right if I really wanted to. I have morals and values.
Right?
But because of that, though, he doesn't, and he just went into it. Plus, then, again, he found out, oh, I can just pay people to like me. And the more money is shoved towards politicians, he's like, oh, I can just buy politicians. I can buy my way into the government. So he did that. Now he's got buyer's remorse because Trump finally realized, well, I don't know if it was Trump, but it's definitely his campaign and his staff or his cabinet was like, look, he keeps saying shit, man, and he's detrimental to us. You need to yeet this fucker for once and for all. And he's now like, I just gave you guys millions of dollars, and now you're going to dump me? So now that's why you're getting the war, because he's once again found himself on the outside looking in because he's Elon Musk and for some reason can't just chill.
Yeah.
Maybe he should stop fucking around and just go play video games and get good at something.
Yeah. Just... He tried that.
No, he paid people to act like it. He needs to actually go and just play games and not...
He did stream himself actually playing the game, died during the tutorial while chat was like spamming that he should keep yourself safe, and he ended the stream. And it is by far, like, obviously I don't condone people telling people to go jump off a bridge, but like, it was pretty fucking funny. Listen.
I'm getting to this point, and I think it'd be really funny to go back and see all the episodes where we've talked about like the Elon and Trump saga. and watch the progression of how it started to
God.
where it is now or ends. You know what I mean?
Because I know we talked about, we have the eulogy of Twitter, which was very early on. Yeah, just the progression from I bought Twitter to Trump is on the Epstein files. How did we get here? How is this?
Which again,
We could have
all
had
knew
the
he
first.
was,
We could have had the first woman in office, dude. You know, thank God we avoided that. Now we have this. Like, fuck.
I will say, and this is the biggest thing that I am really trying to push to people is, yes, this is like the biggest I told you so moment to Republicans and MAGA, but that doesn't help things, even though I want to so badly. What you need to be preaching to anybody who voted for these assholes or didn't vote because they didn't want to make a vote, which I don't blame them, but you got at some points you have to choose the lesser of two evils. Because again, I don't think Kamala was the greatest fucking choice either, but it was way fucking better than this.
Yes.
Is that you have to let people know that it's okay to be wrong and that you can change your mind and do better next time, which is in 2 years, especially for the Senate and House races. So we really need people to start realizing, instead of having I forget what it's called, where you'll defend your choices more readily than not, because you don't want. Yes, confirmation bias and stuff like that. You need to let those people know that it's okay to be wrong, just do better, because if you do the "oh, I told you so" moment, it can cause that negative reaction where they double down, which will not help us later. Be like, look, you thought this was the right choice. This is why you were wrong. What are we going to do to make it better next time? And then you can start that conversation, and hopefully we can get back to anything that's outside of MAGA, because Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't know. There are some people that I just think are too far gone, where it's like, the "I told you so" helps me. It doesn't help the situation. But sometimes, sometimes you do. Fuck being the bigger person, you know? Sometimes it's just fun to shit on people that, like, obviously, you know, you fell for it again. This is the third round of elections we've had, and you fell for it again. At this point, I'm really losing sympathy fast, you know? But
Elon also posted,
oh god,
he even said that Trump's tariffs will, you won't feel that until the second half of it this year, which is true. It's all going to start kicking in right around the end of June and July.
Yeah,
because it takes months for supply because a lot of these places already had supply here. And now they're running out of that supply, and then now you're going to enter into that area where there's that gap where Japan, China, and all these places were like, stop sending shit to America. We don't know what's being paid.
I do have a funny update.
Ooh.
So,
Ooh.
AB Universe, you remember what that was, right?
Yeah.
They sent out an email, because I'm on their newsletter. They are lowering the prices because the tariffs are down. We've won.
It's wild.
The prices aren't back where they were. Somebody...
They probably never will be, to be honest with
No.
you. Not for a long time. So the damages that the tariffs and the Trump administration have already done will have at least like a multi-year, if not a never go back problem.
Yeah,
for us
God,
all.
no.
Unfortunately.
So, sorry, chat. I'm gonna talk ABDL stuff. So, a 10-pack during the tariffs was $50.99. That is now back down to $39.99. Oh no, that's 2020. It's now down to, where the fuck did it go? 42. So it has gone down $8. Yeah. And so, yeah, it's one of those where it's like, it's we've won. The prices are back down. It started out at $40 went up to 50 and is back down to 42. So like it's still above where it was, which sucks, but you know, it's down lower. But that was my silly update. I forgot that I got that email today about ABU. How did they word it? They worded it in such a stupid way. ABDL in this economy? Honestly, at this point, it's kind of becoming that. I can't find it. But yeah, they said US prices adjust as tariffs ease. So the prices have gone down. We've won. Hearing those numbers still make my wallet hurt. Yeah, it's it's not cheap. But I don't want to go into that on stream. Never mind.
Nah, everybody feels it and everything right now, and we're still gonna start feeling it. Honestly, I shouldn't go to Anthrocon. I should save as much money as possible, but I'm gonna go have a little bit of fun.
Dude, you got that fucking cameo money, man.
I mean, it's slowed down drastically, but I expected that.
Yeah.
I think it picked up. I don't know what happened to how I got found, but I got
somebody,
found, and then also everybody started doing a lot of graduation requests. So I got a lot of graduation requests.
Somebody must have posted about you.
Yeah, if you want a personalized video, go to my Cameo. I'm cheap. I charge the lowest amount they'll allow me, $5. Which actually I think yeah, it's $5 for the service or something like that. I actually only get like $2.50 or $3 because Cameo takes their cut.
Jeez.
But I've always said like the reason why I do this is not like isn't really to make money. It just makes me accessible and it does add up over time. So you know I get to afford Anthrocon now. So
there you go. You know what?
So I actually need to buy I haven't bought my tickets yet, and I need to buy my plane tickets. I'm just so nervous about booking the wrong thing because I don't know about the checked luggage. I keep finding luggage bags that say like their dimensions are this, and then United Airlines is like a half inch under one of the dimensions. So I'm like, does that mean they'll not take my luggage? Will they just charge me more? Like, what happens with that, Misha? I don't know.
My luggage has always fit. I don't know. I just looked up how much my luggage never exceeded the limit.
How do you know if you don't measure?
I looked it up online, and when I bought the luggage, I made sure to buy something under the dimensions.
Yeah, so the luggage thing is like the one I found that I really wanted was like 31 inches. Or it's 31.5 inches in one dimension, and then the other the limit is 31. So I'm like, fuck. I've gone through that Anthrocon video twice and have not found myself in it. I know I'm in it somewhere. I might have been just walking behind people.
That was like Mex watched it and said he didn't see me in 2024, and I was like, you son of a bitch. Watch it again. But yeah, we gotta wrap up because I have editing to do and Argo's got a stream to start.
I am gonna be doing Deltarune in 18 minutes.
Oh my god.
My dog is knocked. Ollie boy. He was so out. I had to wake him up.
Damn.
Oh, you're actually gonna come over and say hi?
That's how I'm trying to be, man.
Oh, buddy. That Trazodone's really got you feeling it, huh, Mr. Krabs? Oh, you look so sweet. But go back. Go lay back down. I didn't want to actually get you up. It's my bad. I'm sorry.
What?
I'm a horrible person.
I
just wanted to wake him up. He was knocked the fuck out. Yo, what's up, great old fox?
Sorry, we're wrapping up right now.
Switch 2. I hope. You know what's bad about that? I hope it bricks everybody's systems and they get very outraged at Nintendo.
We don't have time to go into the Switch 2.
Deltarune 3 and 4 is out. That's exciting. And literally today, if you are a big Resident Evil fan, they announced details of Resident Evil 9.
They did.
And that's gonna be huge. It's supposed to tighten up it's supposed to tighten up this arc, but also it's gonna bring in some stuff from the older games that a lot of people didn't play, but the fans are gonna fucking love. I actually haven't looked at it myself. I'm gonna do that after this. But that's another big thing that happened this week. Is there anything else? Other big things that happened this week? There's a lot.
You're pregnant.
Yeah, I'm pregnant. How'd you guys like that TikTok?
Apparently.
I thought it was funny. I
also thought it was funny in a this makes me uncomfortable sort of way. Anyway, we gotta end stream. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. We always appreciate that you guys show up and vibe with us while we talk about God knows what. And then yeah, Delta real before GTA 6. All right, good night. Bye, y'all. You wanna say bye?
I'm the mother. I'm pregnant.
I'm gonna hit stop streaming now.